Welcome to Metal Wani. This is Vitek here with one and only Brock Lindow of 36 Crazy Fist. How are you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
And 5 long year gap. You guys are back with a new album, Time and Trauma. You have to tell me how excited and nervous are you guys feeling right now?
Yeah, we're excited, man, for sure. It's been a little bit since we got our feet dirty, so we're getting excited to hit the road next week. We fly over to the UK on Monday, and
Hmm.
then the tour starts on Wednesday, I believe, and we'll be over there during the release of the album. So yeah, we're really excited and preparing for a real long year of hard work. So we're excited about that as well.
That's awesome. Now, it's like a new label you guys are signed to. You guys are welcome back, Mick Whitney, and then you have a drummer, Kyle, who has joined in. So there's that spark, there's that recharge on this particular album, and it kind of sounds like you guys are determined, and it's an intelligently plotted journey by you guys.
Man, well, thank you for that. Yeah, no, getting Kyle, and he's been a breath of fresh air for us for sure. Losing our old drummer Thomas after 18 years of playing with him was a bit of a blow at the beginning, but
Right.
I totally understood. He was over touring, and all of us were a little bit, and so we needed a recharge of the batteries. And when Kyle came into the picture, we actually knew Kyle for many years,
Hmm.
so we knew he's kind of from our same little family of friends, and so we were grateful to have him. He's a tremendous drummer, and one of his favorite drummers, is Thomas. So he plays very similar, and then getting Mick back was just huge. He's one of my best friends and just a wonderful bass player. So getting him in the band again was awesome. So definitely the recharge is there. We felt like we got a really good night's sleep last night. And the
Hmm.
batteries are ready to go. So that's a good feeling at 20 years plus in this thing to be feeling excited about a new release is something I'm really grateful for.
Absolutely. Now, this album was written during, and after several losses in the band's immediate circle. Now, sixth album in your discography certainly sounds like, it's driven by the emotion, that passion within you guys to come up with something great, something awesome.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think that all the records always were like for me were an emotional outlet. That's what I kind of utilized music for, and it was always there for me. And I was always just love. I just loved music and the ability to be able to get things off your chest through it.
Hmm.
So this record probably is the most important lyrical content for me personally, just because it is such an attachment to my own life, and it was
Hmm.
such a tragic event when I lost my mom that it took a while for the dust to settle, and I really wanted to write about the process of losing her and the process of also moving on and
True.
trying to find positives in this tragic event. So it was a lot. It was a lot of soul searching, a lot of you know just kind of getting down to the deep dark spots of your soul and
Right.
letting it bear, and in turn it really became cathartic for me, and it was definitely self therapy writing the record. So I was I keep telling the boys how grateful I am to them for the music they provided for me to be able to do that, because it was a beautiful thing. And if you're really not a person that has the opportunity to get those things off your chest through
True.
music, you really maybe couldn't relate to it. But I'm sure grateful that I have that in my life.
Awesome. Now, right from the first track, Vanish, we all disappear to the last Morrow. There's that amazing vibe throughout the album. And for me as a fan, when I listen to the album, it's like every little detail is being focused, and there's hardly any filler material, which makes it even more interesting.
Well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, no, we took our time on it. Not only were we dealing with life issues, but we were also trying to make the most relevant record for us at this point of our career, and
Hmm.
it was a lot of fun to do. And the music I thought was just, we wanted to do a dark, moody rock record with the metal elements there as well. So I think that getting back to our roots a little bit with the more melodic singing and the signature guitar stuff without so many breakdowns and things of that nature,
Right.
just more rock oriented songs was a big deal for us. And I really think that the overall product is not so much conscious of what not to be, but just we really wanted to be what made the band unique in the first place, and that's kind of what where our mind was at that point.
Awesome. Now, Steve and Mick, have come up with some grinding riffs one after another. I mean, songs like Sorrow Sings or even Lightless or Slivers. Each and every track has those arrangements and the way the solos written on top of it are actually, being precisely being taken care of. Was it like a conscious decision of you guys to, be very careful about the structure of the song, or it just came naturally?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, I'd love to say it came naturally. I think it did. I mean, that's kind of Holt's. Steve's a great songwriter, and he kind of has his way about things, and we kind of leave it all up to him, and everybody is kind of left alone to do their own piece, And but the structure starts with Holt. He's the main songwriter, and that's always been his strength, and he can write a really good song, and so that's his thing, and I think it's not super easy for him, but it is his ability. It's his natural strength that he's been able to construct songs, and he'll say all day long he's not the greatest guitar player, and but he can write good songs. So that's his strength, and I think that's where he really shines.
Absolutely. Now, talking about your vocals, I mean, you always remind listeners that you have that, undulated range in your voice. I mean, if I listen to songs like, 11, 24, 11, or even Sorrow Sings, I feel there's that maturity in your, screams and in your clean swamps that has those, I feel it is definitely your most emotive chops I've ever heard till date.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's what I really wanted to focus on was my singing. I didn't want to scream that much on this album for the mere fact that I just wanted to go back to what I started doing, and that was singing, and screaming came later, and not that not that everyone can do it, but you know what I mean? Everyone does do it nowadays.
Right.
So having a unique vocalist, love it or hate it, which plenty of people don't like it, and that's fine. I do think that my melodic vocals put us in a category where we get to have some uniqueness to us. So love us or hate us, like I said, it at least makes people know who we are. And I think that's important for our band.
Absolutely. Now I have to talk about one particular track here. That's the Lightless. Now, there are those harmonies in the song, and then the way you respond with those, it actually made me forget your, minute screeching interjections.
Yeah, I'm really excited that you brought that song up, because the last interview I just did also brought it up, and I've been doing a lot of press, and no one has talked about that song, and it's one of my favorites on the record. So it's cool that it's getting singled out a little bit. It's one of those songs, man. It's like, I think if random people hear it, they might not remember it as much as maybe some of the other songs, but to me personally, it has that, like, there's a band in Boston that I loved in the 90s called Only Living Witness. And I think it's got that. I think I approached that song with that band in mind. I mean, I love that band. I love that singer. And it has that kind of Only Living Witness urgency to it. So I dig that song. We're actually going to start playing it live next week for the first time. So I'm excited to see how it will be in the live setting.
Fantastic. Now, we talk about 36 CRAZYFISTS. There's a lot of fans who automatically tag you guys as metalcore. But when I listen to Time and Trauma, it hardly constitutes any metalcore, music for me as a fan when I listen to it. So do you think, fans are like, what can I say, like more adamant towards tagging some band in a particular way rather than listening to the album and appreciate the experiment that has been done by the band?
Yeah, I mean, I think, over the years, the band has been named a few things. I think in the beginning it was nu metal, and then it became post-hardcore, and then it became metalcore. And, yeah, I love all those genres at one. I think the only one that I didn't really appreciate was the nu metal tag, just because it became a derogatory term towards bands after a while. So, it's a way for someone to slag the band off. Oh, they're just nu metal or whatever. So that's the only term that I really know isn't really a compliment. But the other tags, it's what it is. Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of laziness, not really researching the band enough, but our band is a little bit on the weird side where we kind of tiptoe in a few different genres, and we love all those genres, but I think the real roots of the band is just, a hard rock band that loves metal, and we tried to write a moody, dark rock record that is heavy at the same time. I mean, we love heavy music, there's no question, and we're probably a little heavier than the average hard rock band, but it's still hard rock, with the metal side of it.
Absolutely. Now, what are the plans of taking these songs live? Like you mentioned earlier, that there are some, shows coming up. So are you guys going on like a full-fledged tour, let's say Europe or, United States in 2015?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We start next week. We leave Monday for Europe, and we start the first 2 weeks in the UK, and then we move on to mainland Europe for another 2 weeks. So we're there for a month when the record comes out. And then we come back and we support Nonpoint in the States for a month. And then we support Five Finger Death Punch for 8 shows in the States. And so, yeah, we plan on doing nothing but touring this year and really supporting the record and getting, hopefully, out to more people and connecting with more people and trying to build the band even bigger.
Absolutely. Now that brings me to the question that, I don't know whether you have ever done or even in any interview with anybody from India.
I haven't. And as soon as I heard your voice, I was like, wow, this is cool. No, I haven't. And I do know that there was some talk about us coming to India this year for a festival, but I need to follow up on that because I've never been to India, number one, and I would love to come. And number two, I didn't realize there was festivals there.
Awesome. So then, I'm not aware of that, but if that's the case, definitely it makes it even more interesting because there are like around 3 to 4 festivals which happen every year in India. But yeah. I was not sure about that. So if it's gonna happen, it's good for us. Fans finally get to witness you guys after 2 decades.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. It would be amazing to see your country and check out the culture for sure.
Awesome. Now, before I conclude the interview, Brock, how about you define Time and Trauma, the highly anticipated album, in just one sentence?
It's the process of learning the fragility of life and finding peace and closure in that process.
Boom. Now, that was an amazing description. Generally, when I ask this question to the musicians, they'd be like, this is our best effort yet, this is the greatest effort yet, and then you talk about the meaningful sentence, this is it.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, no, it's an exciting record for me personally. I'm very proud of it, and I'm grateful that people have been so positive about it, and I'm really glad that it's finally almost out because we've been sitting on it for a little bit now.
Absolutely, Brock. It was an honor having a chat with you. You have a wonderful day ahead, and I'll hopefully catch you guys in India. If not in India, at least in Europe.
Yeah, thanks so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.